Hello everyone, welcome to the sideboard again with Glenn Jones. This is Chris Higashi, who's playing in the Standard Open.
Hi.
We just featured Chris on camera, and that didn't go so well.
No, it did not, unfortunately. A little mana screw in game one there.
Yeah. Our deck is sweet. It's another trading post deck. We featured a number of these as people are trying to figure out how to work it. Most of the last ones have been black, but you actually went blue-white.
Yeah, I like white's removal a lot better than what black, or I've seen a red build also.
Oh.
But I think white is just where you want to be with Terminus and Day. There's no way around the removal there.
Sure, there are a ton of green creature decks in the format right now, and those are much better spells. Terminus especially, a lot of decks aren't prepared to beat that one. So we've got our trading posts. Let's talk about what we do with our trading posts. We've got Mycosynth Wellspring with Acre Wellspring, Sphere of the Suns, which you can cycle once you're done. What else are we doing here?
We got Worm Coil that can start to return himself, so it's like an infinite loop of Worm Coil action. My main win is via Mindslaver Lock, and once I get to like 13 mana, they don't get another turn. I just lock the game down, and my turn. Metamorph brings himself back.
Okay.
He's really great if your opponent plays a Thragtusk, and you're like, copy your Thragtusk, sack it, and just start recurring that way. You can bring back Ratchet Bomb if you need to. You can gain life if you need to. This card does everything.
How much have you had to use the life gain ability? Obviously, that's like the lesser of the abilities, I suppose, but it seems actually pretty good in this environment. People are going to be trying to get aggressive on key turn often, and you can buy time, untap, and just wrath all the guys.
A lot of time I get to a point where I have too many cards in hand and nothing to do with them. So just gaining 4 life over and over again, my opponent can't catch up.
It's very reasonable.
Yeah.
How have the Gilded Lotuses you've got over there played?
Gilded Lotus has been awesome. It lets me go from 5 to like 8 on the next turn, and I'm just out-manaing my opponent, and I just take over at that point. They let me do things like play more colored spells. Not that I have a lot of colored spells to play, but they let me not worry about my colors so much. I definitely wouldn't go more than 2. But 2 I like a lot.
And to take advantage, we've got obviously a lot of these colorless lands. Glimmer Post for the value on the life gain. Phyrexia's Core, more life gain.
Yep. And Sack Outlet so you can
trigger Wellsprings. Buried Ruin lets you cycle back a few things. You only want the one though?
Only one. I had 2 originally, and I use it so little. Trading Post does most of the returning.
That's fair to point
out.
So
it's only in case I lose my Trading Post, or if I need to do like a weird set of sequencing.
Sure. And what about the Ink Bomb Nexuses? How have they played?
Ink Bomb, they actually almost won me a game where I was just like, infect. I metamorphed an Ink Moth, and I just went that route because they Thragtusked me out and were gaining too much life.
Sure.
So I just went for the infect route.
Up here, we've got Treasure Mage letting you run all of these 6 drops, which is pretty cool. Treasure Mage has seen play like this a few different ways.
Yeah.
But one of the new ones is Staff of Nin.
This is probably one of my favorite cards in the deck. Once I have it out and I start metamorphing it, I get so much card advantage, and he keeps the board clear. There's not many high-powered toughness creatures that are utility in the format. So he's just clearing the board.
Especially once you have 2, it's just very easy to just.
And then you just to your opponent, over and over again.
The card that seems like a little strange to me is the Mimic Bat, personally. Because you don't have a lot of creatures. Are you leveraging your opponent's creatures very well? Or?
Zombies and Nyapod.
Oh, you're running it just as like kind of a hate card for them?
And it gets them a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially against like the pods, you're basically one creature step behind them.
Yep.
But your creature is continuous.
Yeah. It doesn't cost you anything.
And then zombies lets you do get rid of their undying guys, and then when you don't want them anymore, you can just toss them in a can and get another one of their undying guys.
Sure.
So I've actually sideboarded it in more than I've taken down.
Oh, I'm impressed. I would not have expected that. That's fair. I'm going to shift our goat tokens down here.
Okay.
And we're going to look at the sideboard, which has in some ways more of the same. Like you said, you have the Mimic Bat. The Spine of Your Saw is another like high-functioning top drop. But Torpor Orb is a card I personally really like in the format. Has it been performing for you?
I've played 2 Naya matchups and I smashed them both. Torpor Orb did its work. Shut them down.
Pretty much did the whole job by itself?
Yep, it made them have like 3 casting cost 1/1s and 5 casting cost 2/2s that just do nothing.
Sure.
So it's been
amazing. Got, more zombie respect in the Celestial Purges here.
Absolutely.
Oblivion Ring, just a good catch-all?
It's a good catch-all, but Planeswalkers. I have a hard time dealing with Planeswalkers.
Okay, that makes sense.
So just in case I run into something. This also has been in testing for Planeswalkers and Inkmoth Nexuses with skills.
Oh, that's a fair point. I imagine you're a little vulnerable to it since you rely on so much sorcery speed.
Infect just kills me.
They just kill you?
Yeah.
You can't really do anything?
You have no game against Infect.
Other than that, we've got Witchbane Orbs. What are these guys for?
I wasn't sure how much of that black-white Sorin deck was going to be around. Like the other trading posts, like there's a black market deck that's going around that's similar to this, but it runs heavier on the targeting things.
Okay.
So those, and then possible zombies, Blood Artist, Messengers, things like that. Bonfires.
Turn off a little bit of the value.
Yeah.
All right. You've played a few rounds. Do you think you'd make any changes just with what you have here?
Right now, no. I'd still like to test it a little bit more, play it out.
You said you worked with one of the judges here, actually, on it, right?
Yeah, Leo. He's actually not judging today, but he is like one of the SoCal judges. He came up with the initial concept, and I just sort of built off of it. And he's since then has actually switched to red, and I've stuck with the white-blue.
Well, just as a preview, perhaps, what are some of the cards you think he gets from red?
He gets Slag Storm, Galvanic Blast, and Blasphemous Act.
Okay, so just
more mass removal.
Debatably more efficient removal, depending on what you're looking for.
I personally think these are better.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my aspect.
That's pretty much the deck, Chris. Still slugging it out in the standard open.